So, thank you so much for coming on the show. Um, can you give us a simple explanation of what NLP is?
It is a way of finding how we do things with excellence. And given that everybody does have excellence, most people don't realize that. And even if they realize it, they don't know how they do it. So if you ask somebody that you admire and say, how do you do that? They don't really know. They don't consciously know. So NLP gives us the means of finding out what goes on in their thinking, how they imagine things, how they hold themselves, all the unconscious processes that actually make the difference. That's what it's about.
What are some of the key benefits for somebody to learn NLP?
Well, there's lots. They can, for example, discover their own excellence. So if I want to be, let's say, confident in a situation, I can take a situation where I have confidence, which might not be the same situation. I have a means of studying, well, how am I in that situation where I am confident? So that might be with one person or two people, and then go, now, how do I bring this into a situation when I'm talking to a group of several hundred, several thousand people, for example? Or if I admire something in somebody else and I think, wow, I really like the way they do that, given that they probably don't have the means to explain to me how they do it, it's a way of me studying them and finding out.
You've taken NLP very seriously and you've mastered this art.
And very likely as well.
And how did you go about doing that?
I would say the main way, there's a number of factors that make a difference. Teaching it, training other people. I just learn every time from how people discover themselves, from what they feed back. I always say to people, the best way to learn something is to teach it. And I've had some amazing gurus and teachers myself who've guided me, who've challenged me. So having somebody that I respect, that I learn from as an exemplar, and then practicing every day. So initially I would choose something to pay attention to every day. And now, because it's my life, it's my work, that happens automatically. So I'm practicing. It's a discipline in that sense, but it's a discipline that I just do with pleasure and automatically.
How many books have you authored?
Um, well, there have been 3 editions of NLP at work because each one is got quite new material in. I authored a book called NLP Solutions, which is out of print, which was more about case studies in the business world. Um, I've written an NLP and leadership manual, which is full of exercises. I wrote I wrote an introduction to NLP. The main book is NLP at work. That's the real core of who I am and what I do.
What will be your advice for somebody who's attempting to author a book?
Just write. Even if you write, but you will write rubbish for quite a while. But the more you write, and if you think about who you're writing for, particularly keep a particular person in mind and think, what would you like them to have? So when I first wrote NLP at work, I wrote it for my husband. I thought, what would I like him to understand from this? And just keep writing because it's in the process of writing that you find a style and that you find what you want to say. It doesn't for me anyway work that I've got to know what I want to say before I write. I may have an idea, a broad brush, but it's the writing where I discover that.
Great. So thank you so much.
It's a
Really appreciate
pleasure,
it.
absolute pleasure.